There are many online tools that can test the load time of your web pages. This video will show you one of these tools and how to put it to use. This tool is called Google PageSpeed Insights. Now, Google's PageSpeed actually has a few different tools to help you optimize your site for both mobile devices as well as desktop computers. But this video is going to stick with PageSpeed Insights. And basically, what it does is analyze the load speed of your web page and report to you the results along with the suggestions on how to optimize those results. Let's take a quick look here. Now, we are at Google Developers PageSpeed Tools page, and you can get here by going to developers.google.com/speed/PageSpeed, and don't forget about the HTTPS at the very beginning. And on this page, if we scroll down, you can see the additional tools that are offered by Google's PageSpeed, but we're going to concentrate on the Insights. Now, if you want to learn more about the inner workings of Insights and what they actually test for, go to Read Docs, click on Reference, and Rules over here in the left sidebar. And each one of these is a clickable link to tell you more about that particular rule that Insights tests for. But let's go on back here to Insights and give it a quick run. Click on Run Insights. Let's put the URL of our website in here, and this is our website here. And by the way, let's go ahead and log into the dashboard area here just to show you that this is what I consider to be representative of a small niche WordPress site. There's 305 posts, 10 pages, 289 comments, and it's running on the default WordPress 2012 theme. Actually, this is the child theme of the 2012 theme because I've got some customizations in here, like the curvature of the content area and the increased size of the font and so on. Along with that, we also have some AdSense ads in the top and on the sidebar, along with some additional ads as well. So let's go ahead and grab our URL here. Come on back to Insights, paste that in here for our test. Click on Analyze. And for a mobile device, it gives us 66 out of 100, desktop 78 out of 100. Both are not fantastic, but they're not too terribly bad. I mean, yeah, they could be a little worse anyway. But one of the big things that can be fixed, especially for the desktop, is enabling compression, and that will greatly improve our score here. That also affects the load speed of the mobile device. It's one of the two items here in the red exclamation mark. So let's go ahead and tackle that real quick by coming over to our cPanel control panel, scrolling on down until we get to the Software and Services module, and click on Optimize Website. And by default, Disabled is selected. We want to select the second radio button. It says Compress All Content. Click on Update Settings. Come on back and rerun our test. And we've greatly improved the score of both mobile devices and the desktop. And that item related to compressing our files is no longer there because, well, we fixed it. Now, one other thing I wanted to point out before I close out this video on PageSpeed Insights is that this tests for an individual page. In this case, it's the home page of our WordPress site. Google PageSpeed Insights also has a plugin that will test every single page on your site. Now let's go ahead and take a look at that. Go to our plugins, add new, and up here in the search plugins box, type in Google PageSpeed, and this is the one we're looking for here, Google PageSpeed Insights for WordPress. Go ahead and click on Install Now and activate. As it says here, you can get to the settings by going to Tools, or just click that link there. But if you come over here to the left and hover over Tools, click on PageSpeed Insights, and we're actually going to need to apply for an API key here. And you've got plenty of documentation over here on how to go about getting that API key and how to put this to use. But what this plugin does is it actually tests every single page on your site and gives you a score similar to what we see here for each one of those pages. And that way you can drill down and see which pages require a little more improvement and which ones you can simply just leave alone. And that's going to bring us to the end of this video on an introduction to Google PageSpeed Insights and how to put it to use. Thanks for watching, and you have a great day. A huge non-optimized image can really slow your web page load time. This video is going to cover some tips, tricks, and techniques in optimizing the images on your WordPress site. Now, ideally, you should optimize your images before uploading them to your WordPress site, but if you have an existing site with a whole bunch of images already, it's not too late to optimize those as well. Now, there's a couple of things to consider when talking about optimizing images. One is the file size. Another is the file dimensions. Now, if you've got a WordPress site that has a maximum content area of, say, 1,000 pixels in width, then there's really no reason to be uploading an image that is 3,000 pixels wide. All you're doing is asking your browser and all of your visitors' browsers to work extra hard in loading that image and squishing it down to fit the dimensions that WordPress will allow. So right off the bat, if you've got a whole bunch of images on your site that are really huge, a lot larger than what the size allows for on your site, then I would go to an FTP client like FileZilla or whatever you might use, download all of your images, run them through an image editor, changing those image dimensions to those that would fit better on your WordPress site. Now, the other item to consider is the file size of your image, and that also can be reduced without reducing the quality of the image through some of these image editing programs. Now, if you do a Google search at the time of this recording anyway, a search for image optimizer, you're going to come up with a little over 2 million results. So there's really no excuse whatsoever in not optimizing your images. Now, these results, I'm sure, contain both programs that are downloaded and installed on your computer, as well as web-based programs that you don't have to download. And I'm sure a whole bunch of these are free. For example, for PC users like myself, you've got IrfanView, where you can go to irfanview.com, download both the program and the plugins. Or if you're a Mac user, head on over to imageoptim.com. I'm not a Mac user, so I'm going on secondhand knowledge here, but from what I understand, this is a great program. Both are no cost. Or if you want to stick with the web-based program, go to dynamicdrive.com and click on the image optimizer link, and you can either enter the URL of an image, or you can click on choose file and go to the image on your computer that you want to reduce in file size. Now, you've got an upload file size limit of 2.86 megabytes, and you just select what you want to convert that image to. You can either leave it at the same as input type, or you can change whatever it is to a GIF, JPEG, or PNG. Now, this one here is a little under the max of 2.86. I think this is 2.66 megabytes. And then I'm going to show you all the results, and then just click on Optimize. And once this goes through and does its thing, it's going to give you a whole list of the images, and then you'll just scroll down, pick the best one that looks good, but also has the best reduction in file size without sacrificing the quality of the image. And then right-click on the image you want to use. This one, for example, has been reduced from 2.66 megabytes down to 808 kilobytes. Just right-click on the image, left-click on Save Image As. Now, this is the Chrome browser. If you're in a different browser, then this is going to look a little different. Navigate to where you want to save that image to. Change the name, otherwise you'll overwrite the existing image. And it's that easy. Now, that's for off-site reduction. Let's say you've got a bunch of images on your site already. And if you come on over here to my media library, you can see that I've got a few of them on here. They're not giving you the dimension size, but these are fairly large. To take care of these, you've got a couple of plugins you can work with. One is called WP Smush, which kind of took the place of an older one from Yahoo called WP Smush.it. This one works great, but you do have a couple of limitations here. Another one with a few less limitations is called Insanity. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the one from WP-MU-Dev. So we'll come on back to our WordPress site, go to Plugins, go to Add New, and in the Search Plugins box here, type in WP space Smush, hit Enter, click on Install Now, and then Activate. And they do have a Pro version with a lot more bells and whistles to it, but for what I'm going to be demonstrating, we don't need the Pro version. But definitely check that out. Now, the smushing will take place in the Media Library section. Come on back up here. And if we go to the library section first, you can see here that this column has been added where you can smush individual images. And by the way, whenever you go to upload images now, WP Smush will automatically smush those files for you as it's being uploaded. But this is in case you want to smush these images that are already on your site. Let's go on over to Smush, and it looks like we are reducing them now. 4 out of 10 total attachments have been smushed, and we can go ahead and just finish up the bulk smushing. Now then, if we come on back to our library, you can see here where it gives you the amount that it was reduced by, and every little bit helps. So now browsers all over the world are breathing a sigh of relief anytime that they come to your site. And that's going to bring us to the end of this video on optimizing your images for a faster loading WordPress page. Thanks for watching, and you have a great day. This video is going to detail some easy to follow ways to increase the speed that it takes for your homepage to load in your and your visitors' browsers. Now, if your blog posts contain images, and a lot of them do, then the first thing you want to consider is optimizing those images that are currently on your site. Ideally, you want to optimize these images before you upload them to your site, but we still need to take care of those that are already on your site. Now, when I say optimize images, I mean reduce the file size and reduce the dimensions. Now, those two items can be done with the help of a couple of different plugins. One being WP Smush will reduce the file size, and another one, Resize Image After Upload, will reduce the file dimensions. So if, for example, you're uploading images from a smartphone or a digital camera, then that file size is going to be huge, maybe as much as 3 or 4 megabytes. The file dimensions are also going to be huge. That could be 3,000 or 4,000 pixels wide. Well, that's going to be viewed in a possibly 600 pixel wide content area. So you're asking your browser to do a whole lot of extra work that it shouldn't have to. Again, optimize those images before you upload them, but for those that are being auto-uploaded from digital cameras or from smartphones or those that are already on your site, these are two plugins you should check into. Now, one thing I need to say though, as far as this plugin is concerned, Resize Image After Upload, be sure and read some of the stuff about this first to make sure that your WordPress site can do this. For example, you'll have to have some adjustments made, more than likely, to your php.ini file that's on your server. So if you're not sure about any of this stuff, read it over, contact your web hosting service, and let them know what you're trying to do, and they should be able to tackle that stuff for you. So now that we've got our images optimized, the next thing that we want to take care of is the number of posts that are actually being displayed on your homepage. By default, there's 10. Now then, if each one of your posts have a lot of images, a lot of videos, a lot of text, then you can tell by this scrolly bar over here that there's a whole lot going on here. All this stuff has to be loaded into the browser first. So let's go ahead and minimize that by cutting that default number of posts that are being displayed from 10 down to maybe 3 or 4. We do that by going into our dashboard area, coming over to settings and clicking on reading, and blog pages show at most 10 posts. We'll change that to 3 and keep an eye on that scrolly bar over here on the right. Come on down here, click on Save Changes. Come on back to our home page. See how small that is? Let's refresh. And it wasn't a huge increase, but it definitely helped out. Now then, we've gone from 10 posts to 3 posts. Now each one of these posts, sorry, didn't want to make you dizzy there, but each one of these posts have a lot of content, have a lot of images, a lot of text, maybe some videos. Let's cut that down, again, just on the home page, to just a few paragraphs and maybe an image, or just a few paragraphs and maybe a video. And we want to use what's called the more tag to cut this off at a part in the post where it will be enticing to the reader to check out the rest of the post. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and check out the post for that working squirrel. And this is kind of like the idea behind TV series that end at what's called a cliffhanger, something that will entice you to come back next week to see what happened to the person at the end of last week's episode. So let's say that in amongst this gibberish, that right here is a good place for that cliffhanger, if you will. Put the cursor right there, come on up here into the formatting tools and click on Insert Read More tag. Right there it is. Come on back up here and click on Update. Now imagine that we've done this to all of our posts. Come on back to our home page and refresh, and don't forget, check out our scrolly bar over there. Major increase. Now if we did that to all of our posts, then we're only going to have this much showing of each post. And on the home page, we have what's called the Continue Reading tag. Just click on that to continue reading the rest of that particular post on the post page, not on the home page. So just a quick recap. We've optimized all of our images. We've reduced the number of posts that actually show up on the home page from 10 to a much smaller number. And we've reduced the amount of content on each one of those posts that are on the home page from the entire post to just a little bit of that post by using the more tag. And lastly, you might consider the overall design of your site or theme. I mean, if you've got a whole lot of stuff going on in the sidebars and pop-ups and flyouts and other gizmos that you're trying to use to try to gather leads or opt-ins or sell affiliate products or AdSense ads, well, you might take a long, hard look at scaling those things back, at least on the homepage. Well, that's going to bring us to the end of this video on optimizing your WordPress homepage. Thanks for watching, and you have a great day.